Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2022 Land Cruiser LC300 series. It's a different car from the predecessor which we normally know, that is the LC200, and this car is different when compared to the predecessor. Actually, when you're looking at the looks of this car, the interior crafting, what is under the hood, and most importantly, the price tag that has been slapped on this car. So welcome to 0 to 60 Motoring once again. Today I'm going to educate you more about this Toyota Land Cruiser LC300 series. Let's start with the design of this Land Cruiser LC300 series. You can actually see that it's still a big car, just like the previous generation. And then the automaker claims that they have shed like 200 kilograms from this car, cost to improve on fuel economy. But when you're looking at the overall size of this car compared to the previous one, they are almost similar size. And this car is it has imposing looks. Wherever you go, it's going to announce its presence. Let's start with the face of this car. You have a big grille here. Actually, you have these slim lights which come with daytime running lamps standard, and then this specific actually has a modelist body kit. That's why you're seeing this lip down here, which is somewhat big actually. So on the front, they have brought in BMW vibes, because the grille here is bigger than what the previous generation used to have. The bonnet, while the engine has been downsized to a 3.5 liter or a 3.3 liter, it's still as big as the previous generation. It comes with these are 20-inch alloy wheels. They are actually massive. You have lines that stretch all the way from the front to the back. So when I'm looking at the execution of this car matters, the design and the size, it's still a massive car, which should be actually a problem when it comes to parking in tight spots. Coming to the rear side of this 2022 Land Cruiser LC300, you can actually see the main differences between this and the outgoing generation. You have this Land Cruiser badge here, you have this ZX badge, you have these tail lights here with sequential indicators which are actually look pretty good. And then when you're looking at the execution of this car, it may look a little bit odd, or it may somewhat look similar to a Nissan Patrol, but this is a Land Cruiser on its own. So the design of this car may not appeal to many because looks are perspective, but from my standpoint is that Toyota really did a good job when designing this Toyota Land Cruiser LC300. Or now it looks like trying to make it a little bit different from the previous generation. Welcome to the cockpit of this 2022 Land Cruiser LC300 series, and actually coming from the previous generation, this car is an improvement, and Toyota really outdid themselves when crafting the interior of this LC300 series, because from the previous generation you can actually tell very many differences on how this interior has been executed. Actually, the LC300 interior is a nice place to be. In this ZX flavor, you are greeted with these beige leather seats which are very comfortable and they are actually heated. You also have this massive 12.3-inch touchscreen which has a plethora of functions. You have a cooler box to keep your drinks cool with 2 cup holders here. Other features include an electronic parking brake and a variety of off-roading arsenals, a sunroof, just to mention but a few. Second row passengers are well catered for, because you have these headrest mounted screens, climate control buttons, USB ports, and then you have acres of knee room and headroom. So the LC300 actually comes with an electric tailgate, and you just press it that way, and then it will open towards that way. That is when you will have access to the trunk space. This car is actually a 7-seater, and then when all the seats are in position, you don't have much room. So for more room, you can actually drop the rear seats of this LC300. So basically, when it's in 5-seater mode, that is when the car is, let me say, practical. And considering these seats actually fold flat to the floor, you have a very good, let me say, generous or decent amount of trunk space. Another change you are actually noting for this Toyota Land Cruiser LC300 is what is under the hood. Previously, the LC200 used to come with a 4.6 liter naturally aspirated petrol V8 or a 4.5 liter twin turbo diesel, what was normally called as the 1VD. Now for the LC300 series, there are two engine options. What I have here is a 3.5 liter twin turbo petrol V6. So the V8 has been chopped off from the lineup, and then this twin turbo petrol V6 is married to a 10-speed automatic gearbox, which sends drive to all the four wheels. So another change you are noting immediately is that while the previous generation used to have a 6-speed automatic transmission, this one has a 10-speed automatic gearbox married to this 3.5 liter petrol V6. Now the power outputs of these 3.5 liter V6 are rated at around 410 brake horsepower and around 650 Newton meters of torque. Now that is a massive leap from the previous generation, which you used to climax at around 300 horsepower. Now the second engine flavor is a 3.3 liter twin turbo diesel, which is still a V6. So there is no V8 whatsoever when it comes to this new generation Toyota LandCruiser LC300. The reason Toyota downsized the 4.6 liter V8 to this 3.5 liter V6 is because of emission laws, efficiency and performance. Nowadays, actually, most automakers, they are downgrading the engines, which improves the efficiency of the cars, and then most importantly, it helps them to check environmental requirement laws. So that's why you are finding this new LC300 will actually be offered with a smaller engine, but then this engine is has better power outputs than the previous generation. For the Nissan Patrol, which is the main rival to this one, it comes with a 5.6 liter petrol V8. We are also anticipating changes when it comes to the new generation Patrol, which they should be launching either this year or early next year. We also expect that they will downsize the engine and then add a turbocharger to it to compete effectively with this LC300. The Toyota LandCruiser LC300 is not cheap. It's actually pretty expensive, considering that it comes with like 5 trims. We have a GX, we have a GXR, we have a VX, a VXR, this ZX, and then the top of the range is normally a GR Sport. Now, this ZX actually comes, the price tag is a whopping 25 to 26 million shillings. The cheapest is normally a GX, which actually comes at around 23 million shillings. So you can see the changes that have been incorporated in this car matters, the hood, the design of this car, and then considering that it's a new generation, it comes as expensive. That's why this car is going to be out of reach for the mainstream buyer. It will actually target, let me say, the high-end clientele in the society, and then this one have to be extremely rich to run this car, because basically when you're looking at this car, considering it's a new car, everything is going to come out expensive, matters the spare parts and everything. But then we hope that this LC300 will continue with the legacy that the LC200 had built when it comes to the reliability reputation. Matters of roading, I'm pretty sure it's not going to become a challenge, but then these days, these cars, you'll find most of them parked at shopping malls, so it should not be a big deal. So that's all you need to know about that. These are Toyota LandCruiser LC300. When we'll be pushing it on the road, we'll be giving you more insights. So guys, keep it a 0 to 6 motoring. See you on the next one.